The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today.
You're listening to the Struggling Artist Podcast.
People need to be entertained. They need the distraction.
With your host, Trev Allen.
I wish to God that somebody would do something to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes.
Hello, everybody. Today, our guest is Richmond, Virginia's very own 40 Reps, one of my favorite bands. Thanks to the boys over at Our Brains Hurt for introducing me to them last year. Stick around to the end of the episode to hear a song off of their album, Heads Up. This is episode 397 of the Struggling Artist Podcast. Struggling with 40 Reps. Introduced to you guys, your music was I don't know if I was on the show that time or if I was just listening to, but like Our Brains Hurt, Matt Alive and Ronnie Sacoccio.
Yeah.
So they had mentioned 40 Reps, and like maybe it was like just in passing, they're like, oh, you got to check out 40 Reps, and like I was like, oh, that must be like the most hardcore band ever with that name, you know. And what I got was a pleasant surprise, right? It was like more of my style of like punk music, or like, I don't know, like kind of like rough around the edges grit with like a blue collar kind of thing going on, right? That's kind of yeah. So that was the first time I had heard you guys, and it was awesome. And then Matt came on this show for one of our turntable episodes, and I'm pretty sure he brought Heads Up for his pick, and it blew me away. Like I really sat down and listened to it, and I was like, this is like, it ended up being like one of my favorite bands that I like. You guys became one of my favorite bands that I found last year. You know, and then the vinyl comes out recently, right? And like that's
Yeah.
So, and then this will drop way after that. So like that was our pick for the record club. I was super pumped to be able to do that, because like my biggest thrill about the record club is like introducing music to people, you know. Like,
right.
You know, like I've always been that guy who's like, oh, you got to check this out. When we're kids, like little cassette tapes, you know, I recorded this off the radio, you know, so like shit like that, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I got to see you guys at Pooza. Like it was awesome. You guys were great, by the way. Like I was blown away by your on stage performance and everything. You guys were awesome.
That was our first time. That was my first time in Canada, period, but our first time at Pooza, and it was an amazing experience. It was absolutely rad.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So I mean, let's talk. Like you guys are at what, Richmond, Virginia, right? Richmond, Virginia.
Yes.
So tell me about Richmond, Virginia, and like the music community out there.
So Richmond, Virginia, and a lot of people know it has a massive music community. You know, it's always been one of those things, and over the years, everything does. You know, it shifts, it changes. When a lot of us were coming up, you know, I've known Eric and David since we were all in high school. And we came up with these little dinky basement house shows. You know, the insulation's falling out the ceiling, and, you know, people are crowd surfing up against it, and you know, everyone's drinking PBR and throwing around and having a good time. And the house show scene has slowly gone away, whether it is the city has cracked down on it or it's just not as popular anymore. It's hard to make a space like that survive without destroying the house in the process.
Right.
But, we've seen a lot of sweet venues. Like, there was Strange Matter for the longest time. That was Nancy Raygun. That was Twisters. The Camel has always been good to me in the past and has always had, like, amazing things going on there. As far as I'm concerned, it's a little tough in Richmond because the scene is so saturated. Every college kid is out there trying to do it, start their first band, do their first thing. But we tend to focus a lot more as time goes on, is playing more out of town, honestly. We might play 4 or 5 shows locally a year. But we try to spend more time, in D.C. We're pushing Maryland more. We do a lot of North and South Carolina these days. I think, was it last year we went out to Illinois and Tennessee?
Yep, last year, yep.
Yeah, and that was a good little road trip.
Yeah, you get a lot of music that comes through Richmond, and all kinds of music, not just punk music. So
a lot of hardcore.
Yeah, it's a big hardcore scene down here.
Big hardcore scene, a lot of
right
folk
now.
music, lots of metal.
Lots of metal,
thrash metal,
lots of folk.
Nice.
I don't know. Is it just me, or do I feel like maybe like, what we do, like punk, pop punk, whatever you want to call it, it's not as
popular as it used to be.
Popular.
It's not as popular as it used to be.
Maybe there's just not as many bands here doing it. I mean, there are bands doing it.
There are bands doing it, yeah, but I don't know if it's just the scene for it has died out, the venue space for it has died out, because you get a lot of folk, metal, and hardcore is really popular in Richmond right now. But yeah, I don't know
all us hardcore punks are getting older. Or
yeah, I guess it's just that. It's for the birds, man. It's not. That's for the old guys,
Like the Spotify Wrapped came out today or whatever, and it was, you were talking about it. It was saying what are based off of the music we listen to, what age group of music are we? And it was like I was right around 33.
I got 79, so I was like, damn.
But my buddy who listens to like electronic music got like 21, and he's 37.
Yeah.
So it's like
Right on. Yeah. I got rid of Spotify because like I hate the sound quality, right? So like it just doesn't sound good, and I wasn't using it. I use Bandcamp more than anything, so why pay for a service? You know what I mean? But I do like how they used to do like they still do them, like the wrap ups and stuff like that. I did for a couple years there. You could tell how depressed I was because it was like nothing but off with their heads on like every single thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I was like, God damn, man! One day is going to be something else on there. I promise. This is my year to kind of fucking snap out of it, right? So, yeah. So let me ask, because I missed you guys when you came up to Salem. I know you guys played in Salem, Massachusetts. And I wish I could have made it up there, but I couldn't. But and you guys, it does seem like you guys are playing. You play a ton of shows, right? You guys are pretty much on the move, or you just go,
We do try to stay busy. We do take, this is time of year we're heading into some off months to focus more on writing and recording and things like that. But we try to stay busy, especially through the summers. We try to at least get on the road once or twice a year. And this was our second year playing the Gainesville Fest, which was fucking awesome. Earlier in May, the first time at Pooza, which was fucking awesome. So it's been really cool getting on these festival lineups. And we usually try to do, a couple weekenders a year or something like that. But this was our first time heading up to Salem, and it might have been like the highlight of the tour. I think a lot of it was we had a little layover time in Salem. It wasn't so much, jump and go. We had some time to hang out, see the city. The venue itself, Moonbase 1, was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Allie and James run that spot, and they're great.
Allie and James run the spot. They put us up for the night. Got to meet their dog. I don't remember their dog's name, but adorable.
Oh, yeah.
They play in Cape Crush.
Cape Crush.
Yeah.
Very good.
We got a lot of homies up there too. One Fall,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All of them, and there's just so many great bands and artists that are coming out of Salem right now, and even around Salem.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Moonbase 1, I think they popped up like last year, and it's so awesome. And like, I haven't been there yet, but like everything I see that they're doing for like the music community and touring people who are coming through, because like people think you come through New England, you got to go you got to go to like just Boston or whatever, but like, or Providence, you know, but like there, you could find stuff like, you know, and Portland, Maine has some cool spots for clubs, for rock clubs and stuff. And like New Hampshire's got a few. I grew up in Rhode Island, and like, I've always gravitated towards like the Boston, like punk hardcore scene when I was like, you know, when I was like in my teens and stuff like that. And like, I've been such a homer for like New England music. So like, whenever I go somewhere or I find a band that I really enjoy from outside of New England, like it's cool to see like you guys have connections to people out here too. You know what I mean? So, but I think overall, like it's just the thing about like, and I use the word community a lot more than I use the word like scene, right? Because like to me, a community like is what is like it stretches out a little further. You know what I mean? And like
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like it sticks around, right? Like you were saying about you know, like the old heads, right? We're kind of like the old heads now, in this particular like, you know, part of punk or whatever. But they stick, like that's just it. We stick around, right? We're still here, you know. People are still here. People are still supporting each other, and like I love that. Like that, I think that's one of the biggest things that ever drew me in was just seeing how, especially like when I was, you know, probably like between 19 and 21, like seeing how like all these Boston bands at the time were like supporting each other, you know, like you know, like Dropkick when I remember when Dropkick Murphys like kind of like really started picking up steam, like they were bringing, and they still bring like the local guys with them on tour and stuff. They don't have to do that, you know what I mean? They don't have to do that. That band plays arenas now, you know what I mean? But they still like they still do. They still like they don't forget like where they come from. And I think that's a, and that kind of going back to what I was saying about your sound, like that working class, like blue collar thing. Like we don't forget where we come from, you know?
Absolutely. And I think that's like one of my personal favorite parts is, you know, the more we do this and the further we reach out is making new friends, making that community, making, you know, loose family at a certain point, you know, they're not blood related, but, you know, your cousins across the way. And it's like every year that we go to Gainesville Fest, I know more and more people. And it's like a big family union. It's like Thanksgiving, honestly.
Yeah, it's less about seeing the big bands and more about seeing your friends
Going
and
to
your
see
friends'
all your
bands
friends.
and hanging out, you know, chatting with people that you've played with in other states or seen in other states.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's what everyone that tells me that goes to that thing too. It's like a giant hang, right? It's just like you just run into people everywhere. And
Have you ever been?
I've never been to Fest. I went to Pooza this year for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, and like, you know, like that's the way I like I remember I've gone to like a couple like big festivals before, and like it's like, you know, it's a little too much for me. Like you're in a field with way too many people, and like, but like these things are like, you know, they're set up as just shows at like these clubs that you can just float around, and like I feel like that to me that's like the ideal thing, you know. I try to go to as many shows as I can, but sometimes I'm just all peopled out, you know. So, but like doing like Pooza was great, you know, and like go like, and I know Fest is like, it's, you know, that kind of like they kind of like the same kind of model, right? You just kind of float around. But I have a hard time with Florida in general, though. So I don't know. Yeah. And sometimes I don't keep my mouth shut, you know. So I don't know. That's but yeah, you know. So let me ask this about the band too. Like, so you guys, your first release was 2021, right?
Yeah, 2021 was we released our first EP.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did the band like come to be? Like, when did you guys kind of get started? And
so ultimately, and this is kind of a fun story. Eric and David and I have been in bands together throughout the years. You know, form a band, break up, the whole nine. And then of course, you know, COVID-19 hit, and you know, the band I was playing with, the bass player is type 1 diabetic, so he was very much stay away from me, I'm not going out, don't come near me. So the band kind of took a hiatus. I think it was not so much the diabetes part for Eric, but same thing, you know, the whole, everything was just lay low, you know, stay hidden. And time passed, whatever, it's like, man, I'd like to jam out, and Eric and I are talking, so we start jamming out, and our friend John was back in town. And she's like, well, I'd like to jam out. So, you know, let's start jamming out a little bit. It's like, you know who'd like to jam out? David would like to jam out. So we invite David back in.
Because you actually, we started this band with Tommy playing drums.
I was playing drums originally.
And it was John playing bass, me playing guitar. And then David came in, he took over drums. Like we'd written like what 3 or 4 songs that were a totally different vibe than what we're doing now.
Oh, absolutely.
It was
very
much
highway rock and roll.
Yeah,
like.
we completely switched directions.
And it started. We started writing more songs, and slowly, once everything let up, we started booking a couple shows, and it slowly just kind of snowballed to the point where and then after about a year, we've gained some steam, and
John ended up leaving. Our other bass player left to Japan. We found Becca, who came in and took over bass and vocals. And it's just
and that was right before the full length dropped, and it just took off from there. So something that started as very much like just pals playing around turned into what it is now.
Yeah, and I mean and you guys like you said, you're playing Fest, you're playing Puzo, you're playing these events, right? Like, how does that work? Do you have to have someone, like, do you have to know somebody, or do you have to like submit your music, or like, you know what I mean? Like, how does that all pan out?
So it's been a little of both. Eric does so much of the background work for us. He is the guy. If you are talking to us on email, social media, things like that, you're talking to Eric.
Right on.
And some of it has been knowing friends and making friends and getting these connects. It's like, how do we do this? How do we get there? And they're kind of pushing us in the right direction. We've been fortunate enough to have friends that either do have connections at these festivals or know someone who does have connection at these festivals. And it's kind of just, the community giving the leg up. Everyone just kind of like helping us, like, I love what you're doing. Let me push you in this direction, helping us open these doors and things like that.
Adam with Satan has helped us a lot, for sure.
Yeah, Adam from Satan Records, that's what Heads Up is released on.
He's going to hate us for saying this, but our record label daddy, Adam.
He's our record label daddy.
When he watches this, he's going to hate that.
That's awesome. Eric, were you the one that got me in touch with Adam about getting the record?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, he was so easy to work with. Like, I know I messaged him like late on a Friday night, and he got back to me Monday, and he's like, "I'm sorry for the delay." I'm like, "Dude, don't worry about that." Like that, you know what I mean? Like I was right around that time. It was like when I started talking with him, like I just switched from like a night shift to a day shift, so I was up at all crazy hours. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, he was awesome to work with. I'm like, "Hey, let's get you on the podcast," and like, you know what I mean? I would love to talk to him about the label and like what he does too, So yeah, it's cool, man. I love how this stuff works. Like it's just very much, I don't know. It feels like you said, it's like family, right? It just kind of feels like, And even when I was just like a spectator or a whatever, you're just listening to music and shit, like it felt like that, because you go to a show and then like people would engage with you, And I don't know. Like maybe one of the reasons why I don't listen to so many like big bands is because like you kind of lose that, and it's not their fault, you know what I mean? It's just how the business works, and they gotta be on the move, and they gotta go, do this and do that, and so kudos to anybody who gets to that level, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
That's me as like a podcast guy and music lover. Like I don't play any instruments. I'm not in any bands or anything like that, but like I want everyone to like hear these bands, right? Like all the bands I talk to from out here, all the bands over there. I mean, like I said, I grabbed you guys. Like I was like, hey, I really want to put this record in the record club. I think my members would really like it. You know what I mean? Like, cause it's just like, y'all are artists, and you deserve your art to be out there. You deserve like people, and then people who can connect to it deserve to hear it, and that's just like why I do everything that I do. Because like for a long time, like I just always felt kind of like, and I'm like a tortured artist myself. That the struggling artist is me. Like that's why I call it that. Like, we started this thing years ago because I was so uninspired as an art, like doing like with my writing, that I wanted to interview other artists to kind of get like inspiration, and so it's 100% selfish, this entire podcast. So but so I mean that's why like it's just like the connection we get from music is incredible. Like and the like we'll take Heads Up, like we'll take the title track, like that song to me, like when I first heard the album, it kicks in and it's like you guys just fire off on all cylinders right away. And like the lyrics in the song, like that song to me is like a perfect song. And like it connected with me on so many different levels. The whole album does. Like, but like that song, like it's like you can't get much bigger of a hook for someone like me than that song right away, you know? So like when you're writing these songs and you're going from like, do you hear music in your head first, or do you see lyrics first? Like, and then how do you get that connection with the song, you know?
So a lot of our songwriting process does depend on the situation. As far as Heads Up goes, we were doing a lot of writing, not so much as full group, but kind of behind the scenes. Eric and I would meet up, say, hey, I have a riff, I have some lyrics. And it's like, let me play this for you. Can you play stuff to this? Or like, I have 2 riffs, can you play this one while I play this one? Trying to put it all together. Again, like I said, we were forming up coming out of COVID. I had just gone through some very interesting life events, moved out of the house I've been living with, longtime partner separated from, moved back in with my parents, lost my job, that whole fucking nine. So I was going through some real healing processes, and that's kind of where I landed with, the title track Heads Up is just, fighting through it, trying to find the good and the bad, trying to, pull myself out the ditch. But as far as our writing processes go, we try to be very diplomatic, very, fluid with it. We bring stuff to the table, we play with it, we chop it up, we play it again, we chop it up some more. The guys have definitely hurt my feelings plenty of times, because I'll go in and I'll start writing lyrics and like, let's change it. I'm like, no, I wrote all the lyrics. And so we'll change it again. I'll write new lyrics and we'll, go through the whole bit. But ultimately, as far as my point as a lyric writing point, it's always been about, growing, changing, getting better, fighting off the bad, finding the good. And, it's ugly, it's not easy, but it's all about healing. And I think that's something a lot of people grab a hold of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And in that song particular, like because I mean, you come out of the box with it, right? As soon as the song hits, it's like lately you've been stuck inside your head, like, but you have that positive, you have that hope in there. And I think that's important. Like I'll write things with hope, but like I am definitely more of like the really like gruesome, like not gruesome, but like I'm really like want people to like understand that they're not the only one that thinks this way. So I'll write stuff like that, but like having the hope in there is, I think is really good, and it helps things that like kind of level out a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like it's just not all I'm all doom and gloom, but like having the positivity in there gives fucking assholes like me hope. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, absolutely. I get it. I am drawn to sad music. I'm sure the most of us are. There's something about a song that reaches out and drags a knife through you and you go boo-hoo, and it's rough, but it's nice to like see there's a little light at the end of the tunnel.
Hell yeah. No, it's good, man. I like I said, this album was awesome. Becca, when you joined up, were you playing in other bands like pretty active too?
No, not at all. Actually, was it 2023?
Yeah, I think it was like the spring of 2023.
Yeah.
That you auditioned with us.
I think it was like late that summer that I started playing shows with you guys. But yeah, I hadn't played in any bands before. This is the first band I've ever played in.
Never been.
I played instruments before, like I played piano, but around COVID is when I really started picking up the bass and playing around with that, because I knew that it was going to be a way to like be more social. Because I mean, people play keyboard in bands, but just with a lot of the people that I saw playing music and that I knew doing stuff, like keyboard just didn't really feel like appropriate. You got to lug around this big thing. I mean, you still have to lug around a lot of shit for the bass too, I guess. But
no one talks to a keyboard player.
But I just thought it was going to be a way for me to like maybe join a band, and be more social with the music. So yeah, I picked up bass, and I still don't think like I'm some kind of amazing bassist by any means, but definitely get to play with some very talented musicians, and I've had a blast hanging out with them.
Well,
It's been
then,
a fantastic experience.
sure enough, too, your first 2 shows, we played one in Richmond, and we took you on the road immediately.
Yeah, I immediately
Yeah.
started touring,
Yeah.
so, you know.
Let me ask you from that perspective too. Like, you're like, oh, I'm going to join a band so I can be more social. The next thing you know, you're like on a tour, right? Like you're on the road. Is that what you were like? Were you hoping for that, or was this kind of like just came out of nowhere, or?
No, I guess I was hoping for that. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been an artist in other ways. I went to fine arts school at VCU for painting and printmaking, and all the art stuff I've ever done has really been like me by myself in my room, you know. And then when I met my boyfriend, 9 years ago, he had always played in bands for a long time, and I just kind of got to see, like, you know, his experiences with going on the road and playing shows, and it was also kind of one of those things that I was always kind of afraid of and didn't do because it was scary, and so it's kind of a way of confronting those fears as well. And yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really good. So like, was it when this formation happened, right? Like, so the 3 of you guys have been playing music together for a while, and then Becca gets introduced to you guys, and she joins up and everything. And like, how, like, do you know right away? Like, is there chemistry right away? And you're like, oh, this is it, you know?
So I can't lie, there was definitely, and not to be any way, but there was definitely uncertainty out the gate. You know,
Yeah,
like
for
we
sure.
said, Becca auditioned in spring, and we held out, you know, waiting for other auditions. And honestly, everybody else fell through. Becca was the one that showed up, so we called her back.
I said Booker. You know, I said that right away.
David said Booker.
David had faith in you.
David was solid. He knew. He knew before the rest of us knew.
I think it was also a weird point too, because when John left, you know, he was one of our best friends, and he moved to Japan. So we were kind of dealing with, like, not only losing our bass player,
It was
but
a sensitive spot.
losing a good friend that we had known for years. And I think, I don't want to speak for you, but I think maybe some of us were just kind of like conflicted on like how to move forward with the band.
Mm-hmm.
And when when Becca came in the first time, I think we were still just, we were kind of processing everything and thinking it all through and just trying to figure out, like, what was going to work, and then, I think it was later, I don't know how much later we went, that we had her come back in, and we were just like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is it,
Absolutely. And it worked out so well, we started going on the road, and I think by the time we reached the recording studio to do Heads Up, and we started making Becca sing and do backing tracks for the album, it was just, the band blossomed. It came from what it was, what it started to, and it turned into this absolutely beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, that right on. I like when that happens, like, it's cool to see that, because, like, there's different ways, right? Like, it's always cool to see, like, a bunch of people who were together forever, knowing each other forever, but then, like, when you find someone else and it's like, oh man, like, this works too, and like it all kind of fits in. And listen, I like I said, I saw you guys, I forgot, what's that place called? Cleopatra?
Cafe Cleopatra.
Yeah. I see you guys play up there. You all look like you were having fun. You came out there and you just started, like, ripping right away. And, like, for me, I'm a guy who, like, it took me, like, I don't know, I'm in my 40s, right? So it took me till I was, like, in my late 30s to kind of, like, tap along to a song and not just stand there like I'm a fucking giant stone wall. And you guys got up there and I literally, like, started singing along. My buddy that was with me was like, holy shit, I've never seen you do that. I'm like, I couldn't help it. It just kind of happened. It just came out of me. Like, it was the energy you guys give on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was part of the amazing experience for us in Poozle, was, one, how many people we ended up actually knowing up there. And we had a good group from Richmond follow us up to come hang out and check out our show. But I remember being on stage and thinking, I don't know any of these people, and they know every word to every song. And it's just the immediate, flattery. It's just, these guys are listening. These guys are checking out our stuff. They showed up to this show specifically. And I mean, it was awesome.
And people,
I had to make sure I was there early.
oh, we can listen to your band. We love you guys.
Yeah.
That was really crazy.
There was a lot of people around me that were singing along too, like because we were like right there on like I'm always in like I'm either like the side of the stage or I'm like way in the back, and I was in there's no way in the back there, right? So
Right.
I was kinda, like, right next to the stage, and like I mean everyone was just like it was awesome. It was a cool. It was a very cool experience. Like I think that might have been my favorite little venue in the whole out of all the ones I went to for sure.
It was very neat. I will say this: the show at Pooza was the first time I ever had my set list snatched off stage at the end of the set.
Oh.
So I saw a hand come out, and I was like, "Wow! Someone took the whole set list. Like, that's amazing."
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Montreal's a special
Yeah,
place,
it's fun.
man.
It was very cool.
Yeah, that was my first time in Canada too, and it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, you know. Yeah. Did you guys enjoy any like Canadian things? Like so with me, I had a Caesar. Like it's I didn't know this.
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I started drinking those, and I'm like, these are fucking delicious, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. We ran around. I think the cool part about Pooza was one, because it being our first time in Canada, was we got to see a lot of amazing bands, but two, got to do a lot of cool sightseeing. I mean, definitely ate some great food, checked out some neat little thrifty spots, Chinatown, things like that.
Lots of poutine.
Lots of poutine. Oh, yeah. Especially by Sunday. It was so cold and rainy Sunday. What was the big outdoor venue called? The outside stage? The beer garden, right?
Yeah.
It was the beer garden. They had the poutine truck out there. It's cold and rainy, and you order a box of poutine, you just hold it up to you because it's warm.
Yeah. My buddy goes every year. He said that was the first time he's ever seen it rain. I'm like, you're welcome.
Really? Oh.
I'm like, that was me. Yeah, it was. I had a blast, man. And like, there was times where I was just like, I'd walk back like to the hotel, like, 'cause I'd bought records, and I'd bring them back to the hotel, and then head back out and go to another show. And like, I saw just about every band I wanted to see. So that, you know, so it was fun, man. It was just a cool experience. And again, like it was, and you didn't have to like. For me, it was like I knew my buddy, I knew a few of the bands there, you know, and a couple other people that had just happened to show up. But like, I would just go and like just start like just hang out, and like I'm not usually that kind of person, so it was pretty cool to see like I was that comfortable to just like, hey, we're talking to somebody, you know, listening to a band or whatever, you know, and I think it was pretty cool. I think it was a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing, like we were saying earlier, like, you know, just that community, you know, being in it, you know, no one's going to treat you weird or make you feel awkward. You know, if you turn around and want to talk to someone, they'll probably talk back to you. You know, it's just, it's a very accepting environment.
Pooza is a great festival too. It's like, it's similar to Fest, but also different. You know, it's like,
because it's Canadian.
Exactly. But no, I mean, everything at Pooza starts at like, unless you're going to a pop-up show, like an early acoustic show, you know, everything's starting at like 5, whereas Fest, you know, things are starting
by
at like
noon,
and it's going all night. So like, that was the one nice thing about Pooza, is like you didn't feel like you had to go the whole time. You could kind of
you get a break.
You go sightsee, hang out during the day.
It's a little more relaxed.
A little bit more relaxed. You can still go see bands during the evening.
I ended up having to take a nap after drinking a bunch of those Caesar things. I was like I'm gonna need a little bit of a nappy poo here, and then I think I made it back. I made it back for like most of like Toys That Kill after that, because I was like, that was a band that I've been wanting to see for years, so that was cool, you know. Yeah, so I want to ask something about that set. Not that you guys are gonna remember this now, but like, did you guys have like matching outfits on? Was I just crazy thinking that?
Did we coordinate for that show?
No.
We have coordinated in the past, but I don't think
we coordinated for that show.
Were we all wearing crop tops?
We might have all accidentally worn crop tops, but I don't think we purposely coordinated for that particular show.
Fair enough. I don't know. I felt like I was I thought I saw like everyone had like a, I don't know, like a mechanic's kind of rag in their hand, like in their pocket or something. I don't know. Maybe I was just out of my mind. I was like, this is like working class as fuck, dude. You know?
Yeah, I personally keep a bandana on my hip just for wiping sweat and stuff like that. And
smart move. It's a smart
many
move.
times before, because you know people will catch me on stage and I'll start making this face where I start blinking a lot, and that's just sweat pouring into my eyes and salt, and it burned. So
Yeah.
I always keep one on my hip.
It's never been washed.
I like to keep the tour on it.
Yeah. It's a good luck rag, right? It's a good luck.
A lot of memories.
That's awesome. So what do you guys have coming up? Do you guys have any like shows coming up? You going on the road anytime soon? Anything like that?
So right now we're working on finishing up the year. We do have December 11th.
December 11th.
At Banditos here in Richmond with You Vandal and another local act.
Another local band.
And I feel terrible because I can't pull it off the top of my head.
Gaptooth.
Gaptooth. And then our buddy Pedro, he actually records our albums at Audio Verte.
Mm-hmm.
He's in
Iron Roses, right?
Iron Roses and Shot Clock is his personal project. He puts on a New Year's Eve show that this will be our third year playing. That'll be at Lakeside Tavern.
He's done this 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
We've been invited 3 times. And it's always a good time. People come out, people hang out. Because I don't feel like there's not a lot of punk rock shows going on on New Year's Eve. Everyone wants to go watch the ball drop or something, but you know, personally, it's like I'd rather go to a punk rock show.
Yeah.
And then as far as coming into the new year, are we allowed to talk about February yet?
Yeah, it's out there.
So coming up February, we just got invited to play with Strike Anywhere.
Nice.
At Old Pony in Harrisonburg.
Yeah,
So it'll be us, the Goons,
Goons, yeah.
and Strike Anywhere out in Harrisonburg. So we're very excited for that.
Goons are I guess, out of DC, older band out of DC, right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
I believe it's
Yeah.
DC.
Who, the Goons? Yeah, I think the Goons. Is that, yeah. I think they're from. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. You guys coming back up my way again? You guys coming back to Massachusetts
I'd
or what?
love to.
We're hoping, we're slowly trying to put together, our road schedule for next year, see what things. I know we do have plans trying to make it down south again as far as Atlanta, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. But we do also would love to come back up north as well.
I will say that we're in the process of recording right now with Pedro, trying to get some new music out next year. But if that all goes together, then we could potentially be going up north.
Absolutely.
But
Are we allowed to talk about that as well?
I don't know.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, if we don't know, then maybe we shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah. We'll talk offline about that one. Huh?
Doing some new stuff with some old friends.
Yeah.
Cool.
Coming out maybe next year.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. So I want to ask, it was something, one of the songs, and again, like I said, like sometimes stuff just hits me and I'm like, this totally on Small Town Blues, right?
Okay.
I grew up in a small town and like I left because I'm like, I don't want to end up like the townies. Like I was dangerously close to becoming one of them. And like nothing bad against it, but like I was like getting looked at in a different light, you know what I mean? And one of my creative buddies that we always like, we would write stuff together and everything. And he was like, "Oh, you got Small Town Blues, dude." Like he wrote a treatment for a film called Small Town Blues. And like, that's why when I sent him the record when I heard that song, I'm like, "Oh, dude, they even got a song called Small Town Blues, dude. Like you gotta." Right. So, yeah, man, like I said, this album was it's not to sound like I'm geeking out here, but it was like definitely this album was something special for me. And like, I was so happy that I was able to share it in the record club,
Absolutely. We're stoked to know that it's going out there on vinyl in such a way.
We appreciate you putting it out there for us too.
Yeah, man.
Of course, man. Of course. And like, if you guys are in the Northeast or, New England and looking for a show out this way, I don't know everyone, but I know a couple people I could probably hook you up with too. So, it would always be, just so I can.
Absolutely.
I want to see you guys play again because you guys were awesome live. So, yeah. Let me ask you guys this from a creative standpoint too. Like when we're talking about like people connecting with albums and stuff like that, and like what do you like? What would be? And I mean, I guess you already said like the message is like you're gonna go through some shit, but like look for that hope. There is hope there, But like, what would you tell other artists who are like kind of toying with that idea that hasn't quite like gone like been able to like mentally been able to like cross that line to put their stuff out there and shit like that? Like, what would you tell since we were talking about us being the old head, right? What would you tell those up and coming artists what to do, like, or how to go about doing it?
I mean, naturally, the first thing, as cliche as it is, one, don't give up. Keep digging. The biggest thing, go to your local venues. Go to your local shows, meet local bands, meet these bands coming on tour, talk to people, make these connections, because that's what it all ends up being about, you know. You might, you know...
Yeah, support other artists.
Support other artists as much as you can. You might talk to someone from a touring band, and a year later they come back. They will likely remember you if you make an impression. Like, they will likely, you know, I remember a lot of the people that I've met on the road bumping into. I might not know your name, but I'm a faces person, you know. Just, you know, keep digging in and make these connections. Go to local shows, meet local bands, and just make those connections. Keep the push.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that it's bigger than just you and your band. You know, you gotta, you know, it's like we were saying earlier, it's a community. So it's like building that community. You know, supporting your community. Just not, like you were saying. It's just it's important to have, I think, people around you and support the people around you. You know, while you're trying to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Right on. All right, so where can people find you guys? Where can they find your records? Where can they buy your music instead of, you know, paying Spotify to listen to it? Tell me that. Social media, all that stuff.
Oh, that's the big question, isn't it?
Where can they find us?
Yeah,
where can they buy it?
Where they can buy it? They can buy it at I think it's say10bands.com. Say10.com.
Is it?
Say10 Bands. Like it's on the
fact check that.
Say10 fact check that. It's on Say10 record.
I got you. All right. What about your social media? How can people follow you?
Social media, we're on Instagram, 40 Reps Band.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook and all those good things.
Facebook, Bandcamp. Any other social medias?
I think that's about it.
I don't think so.
I don't think we push more, but we're not on TikTok.
No, we're definitely not on TikTok.
It's just say10.com. That's all.
Say10.com. Say10.com.
Yep, say10.com. I'll put a link in the show notes too, so people can find it. Follow it, you know what I mean? So,
shout out to Record Daddy Adam.
Record Daddy Adam. Give a shout out.
Gotta get it in there twice, so you know.
Shout out to our boy Pedro Aida
and Audio Verte
for making us sound so pretty.
Yeah.
Now, listen, when you guys put out more music, please come back. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We'd love to.
Awesome.
It might be sooner than you think.
All right. That's okay. The door's always open. If you guys want to come back and talk about anything, you know, if you want to talk about, I don't know, poutine, we can do that, you know. We can do a whole episode on it.
I like the bacon poutine. It's pretty good.
Well, listen, 40 Reps. Not a hardcore band, but one of the best bands that's out there. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
All right, and that's the show. I want to thank 40 Reps again for being today's guest on the Struggling Artist Podcast. In the show notes, you will find links to all things 40 Reps. I want to take a second to thank the Struggling Artist Podcast team. You can follow them over on Instagram. Chris Chavez at 716 The Sound. Jeff Bousquet at JRB Image, Aria Rad at Coffin_Salesman, Ryan Cowell at 13th Floor _Ryan, and Dave Anderson at Pinball_Punks. I can't believe I did that in one breath. Whew. I want to thank Mark over at State Line Records for being sponsors of the podcast. Head to StatelineRecords.com. See what they have in stock. Support a small independent label. And get some fantastic vinyl. Thank you to the band Losers Circle for allowing us to use their song, The Great Illusion of Time, off of their album Took Long Enough. I appreciate you boys always letting us use that tune. It was an honor to see them at the Tunes for Tots show, and they played this song. I think it was like the first or second song they played, and I just went nuts. That was really cool. So make sure you check them out. You can find a link to their Bandcamp through our website at thestrugglingartistpodcast.com. Go there, grab their album. It's really, really good. Everybody over at Patreon supporting us, thank you so much. Hey, you want to become a patron? Head over to patreon.com/podcast TSA. The fees range from free, that's right, free, to $5. I was going to I don't know. Maybe in the new year, we'll see. I don't know. New year, new Patreon. I don't know. We're going to try to figure something out. Maybe we'll do a different tier. But anyway, head over to patreon.com/podcast TSA and check things out. Thank you to everybody who listens to the podcast, reaches out, sends us texts, interacts, all that stuff. Really, I do appreciate that. We've been going strong now for coming up on, I don't know, this is like our 6th year since the relaunch. And it's been great. I thank you, everybody who has kept this thing going, because it wasn't me. It was because of all you. You all are the reasons why I'm so crazy and have to get an episode out every week. And I thank you for that. I really do. If you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to Trev at thestrugglingartistpodcast.com. You can reach out via email, or that is email. You can reach out via voicemail or text message by dialing. That's right, dialing 774-570-1552. Leave us a voicemail. We've got the end of the year stuff coming up. It'd be awesome to get some voicemails for that when we do the anniversary episode. I'm hoping it's going to be a good time this year. We didn't have one last year, so we're going to have one this year. So again, leave us a voicemail or a text, 774-570-1552. All right, it's time to go. It's that time of night again. I want to wish everyone a happy holiday, happy holidays. I don't know, whatever holiday it is that you gravitate to. And if you don't like any of the holidays, well then fine. I just wish you a happy day. It's getting cold out there. The world is bleak, and thanks to music, we have some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, So closing out tonight, this is 40 Reps. The song is called Hotel Lobby. It is the track 9 off of their album Heads Up. Until next week, take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you then.
Making out in a hotel lobby, can't keep my hands from
I just